He pulls a gun on a 14-year-old kid and steals not only that kid's dirt bike, but also a small amount of cash from that 14-year-old. The PSI indicates that 14-year-old is so traumatized by this, they can't even attend public school anymore, Judge.
You put a gun to somebody's head. We're lucky you haven't killed somebody because that's the path you're on.
A 14-year-old kid just wanted to ride his dirt bike. He wasn't causing trouble. He wasn't in the wrong place. He was just a kid outside living his life. And then someone walked up to him, put a gun to his head, and took everything he had. That moment didn't just end that afternoon. According to the pre-sentence investigation report, that child was so shaken up he couldn't even return to public school. Now the person who did that is standing in a Jefferson County courtroom in front of Judge West, about to face the consequences of a record that goes back years. The prosecutor doesn't waste any time. They lay it all out: the robbery, the gun at a child's head, the stolen dirt bike, the small amount of cash taken from a 14-year-old, and connected to the defendant at the time of his arrest, a vehicle with 4 more firearms inside it. So this wasn't one weapon. There was a whole environment of danger around him. Then comes the part that really changes the mood in that courtroom. After all of that, he went on social media to brag about what he did. And if that wasn't enough, he used those same platforms to taunt and mock the very victim of the vehicle offense. The prosecutor wraps it up clean. They want prison time. And if Judge West is leaning toward any kind of supervision, they want shock probation, real prison time up front, then supervised release. Their position is clear. This isn't a one-time mistake, this is a pattern, and what Judge West is about to say will make that even harder to argue against.
These cases for me, with kids your age, are so hard. And I have for a very long time tried very hard to give chances. But all of the guns and the riding around and so you're January 2019, you're put on January of 2019, you are put on probation, juvenile probation. You violated it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On your 7th time to violate, they finally sent you to TJJD, right? 7 times you were given an opportunity. You go to TJJD, obviously you're not there very long because you get out, and then in December of 2022, you commit an unlawful carrying a weapon, evading arrest or detention, and you're again put on probation. You're given another opportunity in January of 2023. So in this year, you were put on probation for a gun case and an evading case. While you're on that probation, after you've been to TJJD, you commit these 3 offenses while you're on probation. So none of it makes sense that I want to do better. And I mean, all this riding around with guns and masks and stealing, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Go to see in the jury box. I gotta think about this one some more.
Me too. After walking through those 6 violations, Judge West keeps going, and the timeline she lays out just keeps adding up. He was sent to TJJD, but he wasn't there long, and almost the moment he got out, the exact same behavior came right back. December 2022, unlawful carrying of a weapon and evading arrest. 2 brand new serious charges, and still, he received another probation in January 2023. So at the start of that year, he was already under court supervision specifically for a gun charge and a fleeing charge. Then, while on that very probation, after juvenile probation violations, after TJJD, after being given yet another chance, he commits the 3 offenses that brought him into this courtroom: the aggravated robbery of the 14-year-old, unauthorized use of a vehicle, and another evading arrest charge. Judge West also reveals she went further than just reviewing the case files. She pulled his incident reports from his time in pretrial custody, how he's been behaving since he was locked up awaiting this hearing. And what she found didn't help him. The same inability to follow rules that showed up on the outside showed up behind bars too. She tells him directly, all the talk about wanting to do better is, in her words, a bunch of baloney. Not because she's dismissing him as a person, but because nothing in front of her supports what he's claiming. She ends with something that hangs in the air. They are lucky, she says, that he hasn't killed somebody yet, because based on the path he was on, that was exactly where things were heading.
So at this time, in clause number 23 DCCR 0993, I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unauthorized use of a vehicle. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In clause number, and these are all just open. So in clause number 23, DCCR 0991, I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In clause number 23, DCCR 0992, I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of aggravated robbery.
If this case already has you hooked, you're in the right place. Like and subscribe to Court with Mia. I cover the most epic, jaw-dropping court cases you won't believe are real.
Sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I am making an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. These cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time. So I am denying the state's motion to accumulate, which is a gift to you. I am going to grant the state's motion to forfeit the weapon, which is a Taurus Millennium G2 pistol bearing serial number TIP 10158. I'm going to hand you, I need there should be an admonishment showing that I signed it. It wasn't a plea agreement, but I don't see one printed out. Mr. Chopin, I take no pleasure in giving out a sentence like this, but I feel like what I have to do is protect Jefferson County from people like you, who have continued to show that you're just a danger and becoming more and more of a danger instead of learning from the opportunities that you've been given. You will be handed in just a minute a trial court certification in each of your cases that shows these weren't agreements, so you do have rights to appeal, and you can talk to Mr. Lewis about that. I hope you take advantage of any programs. You're still young. You're going to get out of prison, and you're going to be young still and have a lot of your life ahead of you. I hope what you do while you're in prison is do what you're saying you really want to do, is get your life together. There's programs. You can get out. You can have education when you get out. They offer that, and hopefully be a productive member of society instead of going down the wrong path that you've been going. All right, Felicia, you can go back with the bailiff. We'll get those forms printed out.
25 years, but she ran them all at the same time, not back to back. That decision alone saved him years, and she didn't have to do that. Every lighter option had already been tried and failed. I support Judge West on this one. The mercy was in the concurrency, and it was real. Was that enough, or should those sentences have stacked? Let us know in the comments. That's a wrap on another epic case, and honestly, I have so many more where that came from. Drop a comment and tell me what you thought, and make sure you're subscribed to Court with Mia so you never miss the next one. See you there.